This show is presented by the 323 Network. You can watch all your favorite 323 friends and shows on the 323 Network YouTube channel, follow us on all social media platforms at 323Reid, and support us as we continue to grow at patreon.com/323Reid. That's 323REID.
It's not working.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 323. I am your host, Reid Murphy. A little triggered, a little shell-shocked, because I wasn't sure if the mic was on, and I don't know if it's these two handsome faces in front of me of Scott Ellia, 323
Mine's
College
blown
Shame
out.
Day, and that very bright Zuhair Ali down there, because he's a bright
I am
boy.
bright, aren't I?
He's been a bright, shining star all week, and gotta give him his props because, of course, folks, you should follow the network, the 323 Network, on YouTube, and follow us at 323Reid, at 323REID on all the social media outlets, because if you did, you'd be seeing Zoo's beautiful face all week, giving you great NFL free agency and trade and off-season primetime news updates. He's the Lester Holt of the 323 Network out here giving you all the recaps that you need in 5 minutes or less. And it's been great. I appreciate you, Zoo. How have you been enjoying this kickoff to the NFL calendar?
I mean, it's been fun because it's crazy how keeping up with free agency drama is more exciting than any NBA game out there. So it is cool just getting those little Schefter tweets and seeing what's big happening around the league and not, and seeing Twitter just blow up over it. So it's always a good time when it comes to talking football.
We love talking football. It's our crack, isn't it, Scott? Have you been having a good kickoff to football week?
It has not slowed down at all, and I feel like as we're recording this, some breaking news is going to drop, and it's going to send us to a tailspin, and I will enjoy it.
I'm going to have my Ian Rappaport moment where I'm just like sitting here on my iPad just going...
Zoo with just Zoo with two phones. You said your Ian Rappaport moment, so I thought you meant like getting into a fight with another reporter in the middle of a
No, there was no, not yet.
Not yet.
Scott tries to tickle me at the bar again. That might be a different story, but
hey, it's not try, Will.
Well, look, we could have that moment, and it's a great segue.
We had it already.
You could witness it yourselves now, people, because April 4th in Washington, D.C., we will be back at AwesomeCon. Look at that right there. April 4th, we will be back at AwesomeCon, the Walter E. Washington Convention Center, of course. We are going to be there doing the 323's Geeky Family Feud, 4:45 p.m. that Friday, where they gave us 90 minutes because they know they can't contain us anymore. They tried that last year. Honey. Not here. They are going to give us extra time. We are going to have a lot of fun. We've got me, Scott, Zoo, Angela's back, Griffin's back, Sarah's back, and of course, Mr. B, Travis Byram, is joining the crew this time to be on there. It's going to be a full-blown time. I think we're all going to have a great time. Are you guys excited to see the cherry blossoms? We can take a nice stroll together across the cherry blossoms.
Can we hold hands?
We should hold hands.
Can we do a lime bike race or something?
Ooh,
that would be amazing with how crowded it is over there. Like us just trying to all hold hands together.
Just send Scott with
Red Rover people.
Send Scott with just some
Red Rover. Hey, you bitch with the red shirt, come on over.
We accidentally create the world record Red Rover game right there.
I think it would be a wonderful time. You can only find out one way, folks. Come to AwesomeCon and check us out. And plenty of other cool stuff. Corey Feldman will be there. Would love to get him on the show. I don't know what we would talk about. I don't know if he would enjoy it.
His whirlwind music career. That's what I would want to talk to him about.
It's been a hell of a time. Maybe it could be our first 323 live performance. Comes from Corey Feldman. That would be cool. Hey, a lot of cool stuff has been happening this week. It is NFL calendar kickoff week. because everything in football is an event now. You can't let basketball, you can't let baseball, you can't let hockey, none of y'all, you can't have shit. We are going to talk transactions and we're going to do primetime specials about transactions in the NFL. And look, man, there's been so much going on that to possibly keep up with it, you either go to @323Reid, @323REID, and follow the primetime report with Zuhair Ali, or you go full sports media cliche, which we've always tried to avoid doing, but damn it, we have to do it. We have to go full debate show mode. Maybe. This is where we zig where, others zag. We're going to play a little game called Debatable, a brand new segment to drop here right in the middle of NFL free agency. And I'm going to read out a statement just about these offseason moves that have already begun. And, Zoo and Scott, they will tell me if that statement's debatable or not. And they're going to explain to you why. They're going to tell you why your team sucks or is great. Who knows? First one up, though, Zoo. Man, the Seattle Seahawks. They have kicked off the week with a fire sale, trading stars like quarterback Geno Smith to the Raiders, DK Metcalf, the bulk-ass receiver, to the Steelers, along with several big releases like Tyler Lockett, a longtime wide receiver, George Fant, their offensive tackle, Rayshon Jenkins, his safety, plenty more. But then you're doing all this fire sale stuff, and you make a big splash, signing quarterback Sam Darnold. They get Darnold in Seattle. They signed DeMarcus Lawrence from the Cowboys, their defensive end, and they got wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So, Zoo, is it debatable that the new-look Seahawks are going to actually be better than their 10-7 2024 squad?
I don't know. This is the second year with head coach Mike Macdonald, and they're making these moves, but it just makes you wonder, like, what is the Niners? But it seems like optimistic with the Seahawks, but depressing for the 49ers. Whereas for the Seahawks, it's like, I don't understand where you're going with this, but given that we didn't know where you were going with this last year and you still were as competitive as you were, there could be an avenue to actually be successful in this division with the Niners falling off. The Cardinals haven't really done anything exciting. And then you just have to compete with the Rams if they can stay healthy and sustain another good season. So you have a new offensive coordinator. I'm sure there's something that he sees that they're trying to put together right now, but it's just going to be intrigue with the Seahawks until the season finally starts and we see like what they're actually trying to go for, what their new identity they're trying to develop.
Scott, do you debate that with him?
No, because I just, like Zeus said, like there's a bunch of question marks for me with that team, right? Like they let go damn near their whole core. I have zero faith in JSN being a true number one there in Seattle. And I think that's why they brought in MVS to be there. But even MVS gives me like a great value DK Metcalf vibe. Like he just seems like a watered down DK. It's just, I guess you just have to wait and see, but we always talk about like how sometimes teams have to hit that massive reset button, and boy, did they hit that button, because next year should be interesting. But I mean, you look at the NFC West too, like the Niners are in the same situation. Like they're letting go of players left and right and trading them away and things like that. So even with all these changes, the NFC West is still kind of up for grabs. So it might not be a bad thing.
I was going to say, this is where the Arizona Cardinals accidentally wind up atop the division somehow or something next season, or how, the Rams can continue to kind of stroll with things. I have probably more questions than answers with the Seahawks. To say that they're going to be better than the 10-7 squad, I did like what Mike Macdonald brought to the team last year. It was a team that needed to be refreshed to get away from the Pete Carroll, regime completely. I just find it curious. Obviously, they're going to need a quarterback, and I don't think they were going to be in a position draft-wise to get Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, one of those top two there. And Sam Darnold can hold down the fort for a little while. I just find it a little funny where the Seahawks, their pass blocking was some of the worst in the NFL last season. And Geno Smith is a quarterback, despite whatever limitations he has arm-wise, athletically, he was very, very good under pressure, very, very good escaping the blitz and escaping these different pass rushers. And I like Sam Darnold. I've always thought he's had a little Tony Romo-esque quality to him in terms of, going up against pressure. But I'm curious to see if Darnold is going to fully step up. If last year was not just a blip in his career with the Vikings and he's just actually, things are clicking finally and he can perform under what's going to be a high-pressure season. You're not going to have DK Metcalf. You're trying to see if JSN, if Njigba can be that number one guy. I actually debate with you a little bit on that. I like Njigba a lot, and I think this is a great test for him to step up. But, you got to give him a quarterback to do it, and Darnold's going to be arguably he was the best shot in this free agency class to do that. So it's going to be curious. It's going to be very curious. Getting DeMarcus Lawrence, that's an interesting one. Guess you got to keep that.
Did you see DeMarcus Lawrence's comments when he was when they talked to him?
What did he say? Oh shit, I went there.
He was like, Dallas is always going to be home, but the Cowboys aren't winning a Super Bowl anytime soon.
He ain't wrong. Might as well roll the dice somewhere else. Well, that's a good start, but Scott, I'm going to give you one here. And this is a thing with us. This is why we don't do debate culture shows, because we're all so locked in together that we're usually on par. But this statement, Scott, I think you might say debatable, but you might surprise me. The Indianapolis Colts, they made some great signings to bolster their defense, right? They got cornerback Charvarius Ward. They got safety Cameron Bynum. But they also signed quarterback Daniel Jones to a 1-year, $14 million deal. I was very curious to see where Daniel Jones is going to go. Winds up going to the Colts to compete for the job with Anthony Richardson. Scott, is it debatable or not when I say that this signing of Daniel Jones will not only motivate quarterback Anthony Richardson to win the starting quarterback job outright, but it's going to make him a top 10 quarterback in 2025?
There's no signing on this planet Earth that would give Anthony Richardson enough fire under his ass to try to compete to be a number one starting quarterback in the NFL. He is trash. And I've said this since he was in college. He got drafted way, way too high at Indianapolis to go there. And what have we seen since he's joined? Absolute mediocrity. He doesn't know how to read a defense. All he does is chuck the ball up down the field, or he takes off with his legs, and it just gets him hurt at the end of the day. I mean, his stats alone are absolutely horrendous. If you look at last season, 11 games played, 1,800 yards passing, eight touchdowns, and 12 picks. And you're going to be seeing that again this year. He is not going to see the field until garbage time or later on in the season after Daniel Jones leads. And that's right. He actually leads on something that Anthony Richardson doesn't know how to do, leads the Indianapolis Colts to a wild card berth into the playoffs next year.
Whoa. That's a big claim. That's a big claim. Don't forget, folks, outside of the Pat McAfee show, we don't have a bigger Indianapolis Colts stand here in sports media than Scott Ellia.
Cemented in right now, planting my flag, February 15th. Wow. The Minnesota Vikings are going to be defeating the Indianapolis Colts in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Hey. And now they're not going to the Super Bowl, but they'll get a wild card berth, but it will not be because of Anthony Richardson's trash ass play on the field. If anything, he's going to get hurt again. He's not going to play again next year. It's fucking bum.
Zoo, how do you feel about Daniel Jones going to the Colts? How do you feel about that division entirely?
The division entirely. I just don't know what to expect of the Jaguars at all. Like them having
Duval.
And having that reset did nothing for me. It's just like, prove it. Is Trevor Lawrence actually your guy? Can you actually put a team together? Can you actually be consistently competitive and not just, run off of flukes?
Duval.
Oh, creepy. Texans, we'll see. they got rid of their O-line. That's great, but what are you swapping it out with? Like, are you trying to protect CJ Stroud or not? So that'll be a big question for next year. Who else is there? That shows how pathetic this division is.
The
Tennessee.
Titans, the most pathetic, yeah.
Most forgettable.
Yeah, that's going to be potentially rookie quarterback. I get that there's a great edge rusher over there, but like, why would you? Are you that confident in Will Levis?
But you gotta I really low key hope they take Abdul Carter, because I don't have any beef with Cam Ward. I think he seems like a pretty good dude. It feels like it would be setting
Not
him
enough
up
if you want to go to the Browns.
feels like it would set him up for like massive failure to go to the Titans right now.
I don't know. So those other three teams are intrigue. Daniel Jones, we'll just kind of see how bad of an organization the Giants actually are and see if he does have the capability of actually leading a team, or if he's just going to be another Joe Flacco right now, just much younger. If Daniel Jones gets the starting job, like Richardson has to do really, really bad. Really bad.
Good thing he is.
And then it's like, do you trade Richardson during the regular season? Like,
what are you
going to
trade him for? Fucking a half-eaten bag of Lay's potato chips?
Pack of Wonder pistachios?
Yeah.
Don't shit on Wonder's name.
I mean, whoever got the bag is the one that's winning.
Ooh.
Did you all know that Calvin Ridley's 30? I just found that out. He's 30 years old.
I can't process people's ages in the NFL.
See, that blows my mind because Sam Darnold's 27, and I would have sworn that Sam Darnold, because he's been in the league for what, fucking decade?
Yeah,
he would have been in his 30s, but no, he's only 27.
Could have sworn. I guess it was that memorial betting slip year that really took some time off of Calvin Ridley.
Hey man, black don't crack.
That's right. Only in his agility.
Long story short, Daniel Jones is leading that team. I'm not sure how long Richardson is going to stay on it.
Fair enough.
Might be like the next Trey Lance.
I was just about to say Trey Lance.
He's had a better career than Trey Lance. I think we can agree on that.
I've had a better career.
I think Trey Lance and Anthony Richardson should start for the Cowboys.
They need to go play for the Battle Hawks or some shit. Go play for the UFL.
No, I still want them. I want them both to be in Dallas fighting for a starting spot.
I still argue for a lot of these players. I know you can get NFL money and, you're on an NFL team, but if you're like Trey Lance or Trey Lance or Gardner Minshew or something, why not go to the UFL? And just like, if you want a year of superstardom, just go there and just destroy all those dudes who are never going to make the NFL. You can easily get back in. You'd be the face. You'd be the face of a league. You could maybe even try to get some revenue or something.
I mean, RG3 and Cam Newton had a conversation about that, and it's like they've basically made so much money in the NFL, they're not getting paid enough for like the football routine to go down to UFL. I've always kind of had the same mentality. It's like, if you just love football and want to play, but it's like, no, just comes down to money, which is kind of sad.
I will make Trey Lance a star if you make me the CEO of the UFL. I got you. Zoo, we're going to go back to you here. And a quarterback who is not, I will say, is better than UFL level, right? Justin Fields. The New York Jets, they signed quarterback Justin Fields to a 2-year, $40 million deal. Armed with Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, a hellacious defense, and a new coach in Aaron Glenn. Zoo, Justin Fields is finally going to have his superstar year and become the franchise quarterback the Jets have been seeking. Is that debatable or not?
I mean, the fact that that's a false statement isn't debatable. I think he's going to have some flashy plays with Garrett Wilson. I think that it's just going to be a repeat where it's like they have a solid defense and the offense just won't be able to get any chemistry together.
All I can say is good thing they got Tyrod there.
Do they still have Tyrod? Is he still there?
Mm-hmm. I think he's still listed on the depth chart.
What was all the drama with Jordan Travis? I was seeing a lot of
how they tried rushing him back too soon.
Yeah,
they were trying to expedite his rehab for his leg, and I guess something got aggravated and it set him back even further. So yeah, it's still up in the air when he's even going to be able to suit up.
good.
That's why you never saw him last year.
Signed at the end.
Oh my goodness. Who'd the Commanders sign?
Jacob Martin.
Oh, I've heard of Jacob Martin at some point. I think he might have been a UFL player. He might have been a DC Defenders guy. Look,
he's a command for $3 million while Olamide Zaccheaus is going to the Bears.
Oh.
I will say, looking at the depth chart for the Jets and knowing that division that they're in, and I would love to see what their schedule is going to be like for next year, just to kind of get a better grasp on everything. But I feel like they'll do better than 5-12.
I think
they might be a 7-8, 6-9, like somewhere in their range. But like a couple games more, but I don't see them like beating the bricks off people. But I mean, you look at everything; it's all just young talent that you're just waiting to hit at this point.
They play the AFC North, but they play the NFC South.
For the Jets?
Yeah.
Well, I already killed
and
my
their extra games are Broncos, Jaguars, and Cowboys.
I already killed my own theory in that, first season with a new coach, the Jets always do well. And when I saw that Robert Saleh, his first season, they went 4-13 and missed the playoffs, and then went consecutive 7-10s. So
my question I'm posing to you, fine gentlemen, is: are the Jets going to do well enough to gain the trust and the love of one Luis Martinez to come back and rep the Jets again?
I think
so.
I think so, and I'll go fully deep onto the NBA. I think the Knicks are going to disappoint him. I think they're gonna lose early in the playoffs, in the NBA playoffs, and he's gonna have to look for some type of yield of hope, and that will be Justin Field and the Jets and whatever player they drafted during the with the 8th pick.
So I'm confused. You do think that Fields is going to be their franchise?
No, I don't.
Okay.
No. I just think they're going to. I think performance-wise, they'll do a lot. They'll do slightly better than last year. I think last year a lot of the team probably just just rolled over and just gave up halfway through the season. But
they get a draw against the Colts.
Right. Wait, what did they sign for again? What was it? 2 years?
Yeah,
2 years, 40?
40, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Wait for Archman to come out in 2 years and go draft him.
Yeah. I thought
that was the Giants' plan.
Well, someone's got to.
Tommy DeVito is their only quarterback under contract right now.
Hey, Mason Rudolph to the Steelers.
What, you saying you don't have faith in the Italian Stallion?
I mean, they beat the Commanders like 30-some points in his first game, so I really can't talk, but...
They can make Tommy DeVito second on the depth chart of the practice squad, and I guarantee he's going to start a game next year.
Oh shit, Drew Lock's still a free agent. Right?
Bring him back.
He's probably going to continue being a free agent.
I like Drew Lock. Look, with these statements,
there's a UFL quarterback.
For Justin Fields, he would be a great UFL quarterback. For Justin Fields, I kind of agree with Scott. I think that he's going to have a good year. You're going to see all the same flashes. I think we know exactly who Justin Fields is. There are like some huge Justin Fields stands around. He's a crazy athletic quarterback who has a very limited kind of quarterback accuracy range. Like he just makes really crazy decisions. He's going to have like some damn near 400-yard game and look like the savior for a little bit, but he's also going to just make some boneheaded decisions and interceptions at some point. And I think the Jets will be better than they were last year, just because I feel like they have to. Scott was right. Everything was just so deflating right at the start that, yeah, you're going to roll over and just hope for the season to end. So
that was the point, was that with all the dead cap, they still can't upgrade their O-line, so they needed a quarterback that actually can run for their lives.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, no, I don't believe in my statement. In my opening statement, this is showbiz, baby. But this next statement, the final statement for you here, Scott, I might believe this one. All right, I think I believe in this one. As the Steelers, the Ravens, and even the Browns, they're making moves big and small to improve their squads or keep them in competitive form, right? The Steelers, they traded for DK Metcalf. They traded for DK Metcalf to pair him up with George Pickens, and George Pickens hasn't said anything, destructive or selfish.
Yep.
Yeah, selfish yet.
Nah.
And, they're still looking at the quarterback position. Whether they get Aaron Rodgers, he's, potentially going to visit, or he's on a beach somewhere right now. Ravens, they haven't lost too much. They got rid of Marcus Williams, who really didn't do shit for them last year, and brought in the most Ravens receiver of all time in DeAndre Hopkins at 30-something years old. And the Browns, they get to sit Deshaun Watson for a year, so you already have hope. He's injured. You got hope there. They got to keep Myles Garrett. Maybe they add Abdul Carter to him.
You got Kenny Pickett.
And I'm Kenny. Joins them. The Cincinnati Bengals, though, Scott, they find themselves in a compromising position. Several compromising positions, really. They have
themselves?
They find themselves there. Yes, they
put themselves in?
No, they find themselves. They're not binding themselves. That's for the after show. That's for the late night show. They still need to extend Jamar Chase. They already committed publicly to saying that he was going to be the highest paid non-quarterback. Myles Garrett came in, got a $40 million a year deal. Waited a little too long on that. They got to figure out the T. Higgins situation while he's on the franchise tag. They already granted their star defensive end Trey Hendrickson, permission to seek a trade. And apparently there are a lot of teams interested, but according to Diana Rossini, while those teams are interested, they have said they think it's, quote, ridiculous what the Bengals are asking for him, even though they said they will happily give him the money that he's looking for. And they still have to bolster their aging defense and a shaky O-line that seems like it's been shaky since Burrow got there. So, Scott.
And their other DN retired.
Yes. Sam Hubbard. Yeah, he retired. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when I say that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be the worst team in the AFC North in 2025, is that debatable to you?
No. No, you hit the nail on the head through that whole opening monologue. They have problems up and down the roster. Like you said, they came out stating that they were going to make Jamar Chase the highest non-quarterback player in NFL history, and Myles Garrett blew that up. So now what are you going to do? You're going to welch on what you said and say, we can't afford 40. This 40 a year. We're going to have to take a step back, make you the highest paid wide receiver, and completely reset the market no matter what. And then, you got the T. Higgins situation, which T. Higgins has already came out stating numerous times that he would be willing to sign a cheaper deal to stay with this core group. Because if you're playing for one of the – Joe Burrow's arguably top 3, top 5 quarterback in the league, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I feel comfortable putting him in top 5.
For the case for a point, I'll give him top 5, yeah.
Yeah, so, if you're T. Higgins, there's only 4 other quarterbacks better than who you are right now, so you might as well just stay.
One of them.
And the Trey Hendrickson saga, you already came out saying that you'd pay him. Don't pull a Jerry Jones, just fucking pay him, because what do we know what's going to happen 6 months from now? It's going to be more expensive. Just write the fucking check now and get over with. You already know these other teams aren't going to trade your astronomical price tag on them, so just sign them and get it over with. I don't know. That's just me.
I don't think it's just you. I mean, this is the one statement that I fully believe in that I wrote.
I have the Browns at the bottom of the barrel, but it's only by a game. So the Bengals are going to be right there with them.
It fully depends to me on what the Browns do from here at quarterback. As we're recording, you still have a couple options out there. I know Russell Wilson is supposed to visit with them. Kirk Cousins is still an option if they want to trade for him. I think either of them would be serviceable enough on a
You don't believe in Bailey Zappi?
On a talented team. I couldn't give a single shit of belief to Bailey Zappi. I didn't believe in him that rookie year when everybody tried to make him the savior. I'm not doing it with the black Bailey Zappi and Joe Milton.
Man. You don't believe in him?
Joe Milton's just a black version of Bailey Zappi. Don't fall for it, people.
Ooh.
I promise.
Alex Marks, you can say that. It's okay.
I can. Yes. Yes, we're fine.
Well, it's who else is out there right now? Because I know as far as big names go, A-Rod's not going to go there. Russ isn't going to go there. Winston was just there. They're not bringing him back. Flacco has already done his veteran tour there. So you don't see Flacco at this point going there. So who else is out there that could even potentially be a starter for you next year?
Drew Lock.
Shador Sanders. Maybe
Mhm.
could even be
Trey
like
Lance.
a wait and see kind of thing. Cam Ward if Tennessee does go the Abdul Carter route.
It's going to be like a Carson Wentz retread.
Oh God, he's looking for a starting job.
Fuck it, get Taylor Heineke in there. Why not?
I mean, he's not even a backup in KC anymore because Minshew's over there. So
That would have been a spot I could have seen Minshew trying to go to in that mercenary role of his, but I guess.
Well, it's like with the quarterback that they're gonna be stuck with. Well, not stuck with, but like they're kind of in a tough spot because you're not gonna be able to get an aging veteran who wants to win now. So that's completely out of the realm of possibility. So you're gonna have to find a guy who's like still relatively on the younger side, who has shown those flashes of being a true number one. Just so they can try to get some more, game tape on there. I mean, Desmond Ritter still out there?
He is, yeah.
He was supposed to be the next Matt Ryan after Matt Ryan left Atlanta, and then we saw how he just completely crashed and burned in Atlanta, and then he went to Vegas, and he didn't do anything in Vegas. So maybe bring Desmond Ritter. I mean, I believe isn't he from somewhere around Cleveland, right?
I believe so, and it shouldn't be too
maybe
much.
they could trade for Anthony Richardson.
No, he's from Louisville, but he went to Cincinnati. So like,
Close enough. It's all Ohio.
Shouldn't be.
It's all the same. It's all the same cesspool, whatever.
Shouldn't be too costly to try and trade for like a Hendon Hooker or what's his name in
I don't think the Lions are out on Hendon Hooker yet, though.
I don't think so. Well, yeah, I don't even. Yeah, and
I guess it all depends what the price tag is.
It couldn't be too much, but I mean, there's options. I'm surprised they didn't try to go back to Jameis, but I also have a low key theory that. Jimmy Johnson retired from Fox and will not be part of Fox NFL Sunday. And everybody was like, oh, Gronk, is the natural fill-in. Don't put Gronk on that thing full time.
Ooh,
I watched him nearly have a stroke trying to talk about Gerard Mayo.
Add to my question. You can add whatever you want to me, man.
Who loses their job first, Zach Taylor or Stefanski?
Ooh. Stefanski. Taylor's still riding high on his Super Bowl appearance, so he still has that feather in his cap.
I don't know if he's right. I think if they had the same season as last year, though, I don't. If it was an identical year,
to me, it's like which team is losing first at that point. Like who's doing the worst is going to be gone first. And I have a little bit more just simply because Burrow's under center in Cincinnati, and they actually have weapons surrounding them. Like the Browns roster is just gross, absolutely gross. Man, so like I have no
Browns
faith.
Defense with the Bengals offense, you could actually have a.
Just form a super Ohio.
Can you
team.
trade whole position groups? Can you just swap the sides of the field?
We've opted to become the Ohio Brown Goals.
Well, it's like I think all their running backs are hurt right now too, right? The Browns. I think everyone's hurt.
Yeah, I mean Chubb is still. I think Chubb's a free agent. I think.
Yeah, he's still out there.
Yeah, he's still out there. Yeah, so, and I think that's why the running back market has kind of looked the way that it has so far in free agency, just because of this draft that's coming up, and how many options that you have there. So, I don't know. It's gonna be something to watch in Ohio there. But I'm calling the Bengals. I'm sticking with my statement. It's not just showbiz, baby.
You think the Bengals will be at the bottom?
Yes.
I think Bengals will be third.
It's going to be an Ohio team that's third or fourth, which is why now it's going to be the Steelers.
Ohio team is going to be the worst AFC North team this year.
That is a good take. That's a safe take. I think that's a
50% chance. So we're taking it.
Yes. This is how we curse the Steelers.
Watch the Browns win.
I'm going to give you a debatable.
Ooh. I want to play.
The NFC East has the longest streak of no back-to-back division winner since 2004. Do the Eagles break that this year?
Yeah. I say that they do break it this year. As much as I'd like to say Washington, keeps the streak alive. I know the Giants are sure as hell not going to do it, and I do not believe Dallas is going to do it. I don't believe in Brian Schottenheimer whatsoever. Washington, I still think will be number 2 and will finish second in the division, but Philly's an overwhelming amount of talent there. And barring some type of like massive injuries, I don't know who is their backup quarterback now. Is it Dorian Thompson-Robinson after the trade with the Browns? You know, if Hurts goes down, maybe DTR fits well in that system enough, and you know he fits a similar skill set of Hurts. If Barkley goes down,
AJ Dillon now.
they just signed the other quadzilla of the NFL and AJ Dillon. I still think
They said those two are first team quad pro.
Right. I think that you still have a competitive enough team, and Washington's going to be facing a much tougher schedule this year. And I'll get into it on my top 5 on some of my feelings about Washington right now, but I want to. Jaden Daniels is special. He is definitely something different, but I am very curious to see how he goes up against the sophomore slump in the wall that most second-year quarterbacks typically hit. I mean, just look
at saw it this year with CJ.
Yeah, the superstar rookie year that CJ Stroud had. People were comparing him to like LeBron James or Michael Jordan of the NFL that rookie year, and it went downhill this year once people figure you out. And I think he'll rebound. But I'm curious to see if it's going to happen to Jaden too. I just think Philly's too good to not win this again.
Yeah, they got a dynasty coming up for sure.
Yeah. Odds are in their favor. Good segment.
No, because you guys have no faith in your own team. So give me the Commanders to keep the streak going.
He's doing it again.
Book it now, dude.
He's doing it again. Okay. Fair enough.
Doing it, yeah. I've
that was the only debate we had today.
That's the only debate that we've had. That's a good wholesome segment. Going into an even more wholesome segment, and that is the 323's top 5. And we are doing the top 5 this time. I've got top 5 observations from free agency week. So god damn it, let's just jump right into it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is the 323's Top 5.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Oh, shit. Here we've gone again. It's the 323's Top 5, and it's my top 5 observations from free agency week. These two are going to help me out and let me know after I've finished if I've missed anything, what I'm right or wrong on here. And I don't have any OLIs because there's, plenty of shit that we've already covered. But I still think some things that, I got my eye on here. Yeah, I got my eye on, and I think it's going to be some big keys going into the season. First up, number 5, a team that we all know and love, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys. Scott, Zoo, I just don't understand why them and Jerry Jones just won't fucking learn their lesson from off-season pass. They don't act on, any potential great fits, especially in the running game, like Najee Harris. I think Najee Harris would have been a really good 1-year fit with the Cowboys just to see how that goes. They sign, all their free agent pieces that basically are career depth players and then wait forever to extend their stars when they could have gotten them on better, respectable deals if they just acted fast. Because now they have to figure out how to make a Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb's top market deals work with what's going to be, it's going to have to be a Myles Garrett level deal for Micah Parsons. And I don't know what you're going to do with Parsons. I don't know if Parsons is going to want to stay there. I don't know if Parsons is just want to play his way into free agency and then come play in Washington. I don't know, in a couple of years. Who I cross my fingers. And I just don't know what Dallas does every year. They say they're going all in. I think they said they're going all in last year, and this year they're putting all the chips on the table. So I don't know what the tiers of prioritization are for Jerry Jones, but I don't like it.
Turpin?
They did re-sign Turpin, but they let Rico.
They re-signed their long snapper.
That's a key one. That is a key one. Is Justin
I
Tucker
think they
still around?
spent more on the running back that they signed than Rico signed for in Carolina.
Javonte Williams, yeah, they got Javonte Williams, who I liked in college, but he didn't show it for me in Denver. So
How much playing time do you think a long snapper gets in a game on average? How many plays? We'll go percentage wise. How many plays do you think that long snapper's out there for?
Oh, I was gonna say like 3 minutes.
Under 10?
it's got to be under 10, right?
Under 10?
It's got to be under 10. I mean, depending on how much you're punting a game.
Right. But it's like...
Maybe
so
not
you
that
signed-
game where we beat the Giants with kicks only, but
Well, yeah, or field goals and stuff like that. But yeah, my point is their long snapper signed a 3-year, $4.5 million deal to play 10 snaps a game.
Maybe they're
I
bank-
could have done that. Zoo, what we need to do is start training Zoo to be a long snapper, and we just get him signed somewhere.
I just keep baiting like a bunch of like neutral zone infractions.
Listen, you can use your martial arts skills on the line. You got the hands. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
All you got to learn is how to snap it.
All you got to do is snap the ball. Whatever happens after that is, that's up to the punter.
That's God's will.
That's God's will.
Yeah.
Yeah, inshallah.
But what I want to add to that is that,
Inshallah.
like, I feel like Parsons is just going to be like victim to the franchise tag game for like 3-4 years, like what the Skins at the time did with Kirk Cousins. It's not going to be pretty, and I mean T. Higgins is going through it right now, so I think that's the hole that Micah Parsons is going to get stuck in. And then Cowboys do a decent job in the draft. I feel like they're going to go running back early, so we'll see how that turns out for like how they supplement players.
Yeah, I think everyone that every mock draft and everyone I've spoken to about the first round, everyone's like pretty much saying Cowboys are drafting Ashton Genty. There's like don't fuck with anything else. Like by the time you guys are picking, just grab him and go. But I'm in agreement with Zoo with the Micah Parsons scenario. Like I think he's just going to be in franchise tag purgatory for the next couple years because their asking price for him is probably going to be way too high for a team to want to bid on, and they're not going to just let him go to the open market. So he's just going to be signing franchise tag after franchise tag, and he might just opt not even show up at that point.
Yeah, because we've seen him. He can be a little temperamental when he's on his podcast. First off, get the fucking podcast away from him. You can't keep doing what he like. He couldn't even name Dak Prescott in his top 10 quarterbacks last year. He was either way too honest or stupid. I don't know, but keep that away from him. Look, I don't mind if he comes here. I would be very happy for Micah Parsons to come to Washington. I'd be very happy for him to just leave Dallas in general because he's a menace. Just
go to the Eagles.
But you also brought up Ashton Genty, the Cowboys. I keep seeing these little reports and rumors that the Raiders are like all in on Ashton Genty and potentially taking him at 6, which him being such a perfect fit for the Cowboys leads me to fully believe the Raiders are going to take him at 6.
I think the Cowboys trade up.
Oh, I would love it if they traded up for Ashton Genty. Trade up for a running back.
That's a Jerry Jones move, though. He would do that. He would just give the whole farm away just to move up in the draft.
He will
jump up and get him.
He will slap fight
Trade
Steven to
CeeDee
get
Lamb
that
just to
QB.
move up and get.
Please.
Ooh, see that makes me wonder because a lot of the other mock drafts I've been seeing has Shador going to Vegas at that point. What is that, 9 that they pick at?
I think that
7.
I thought there was 6 or 7.
Oh,
something
maybe.
like that, yeah.
But I wonder how far Shador is going to slide at that point. If he's still on the board and the Raiders don't pick him, they go with an Ashton Genty. Like how far is Shador going to slide down the draft?
It's going to get his Aaron Rodgers moment. God, it'll be so.
Darn it!
Dion will be so insufferable. Oh,
Poor guy.
God.
He's not even going to be at the draft. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know if he can be. Yeah. Well, they'll do their own thing at Colorado or something.
Well, he went to the combine. He didn't throw, but he went to the combine.
Well, look, let's not talk about the losers of the NFC East. I want to talk about a big winner in the NFC East, and that's at number 4 for me, the Washington Commanders. They're worrying me a little bit that they've learned the wrong lessons from last year. Just like how you see, with some big movies when like a big original creative movie comes out and like, Everything Everywhere All at Once does really well. It's a huge Best Picture winner, and you you wonder, is Hollywood going to learn the right lessons from this? No, we're just going to do a shit ton of multiverse stuff. We're not going to focus on creative family drama or anything like that. We're going to do more multiverse, more acting cameos. The Commanders are worrying me that they learned the wrong lesson from, this past playoff season of bringing in older veteran players like Austin Eckler, Bobby Wagner, whoever the hell, Zach Ertz. Yeah, these older dudes who, a little over the hill, but you're getting some juice out of them and you're getting great leadership presence. I love having them there as leadership presence. But we're still continuing to assemble the Avengers of the Overhill gang with, Laramie Tunsil now is 30 and starting to, from what Texans fans have said, go a little bit on the decline. He's still had a great pass blocking season last year, which is all we need. And, he doesn't have the leadership presence, which is fine. Jaden Daniels is here. But then we also signed Jonathan Jones at corner from the Patriots. Will Harris is 29 or 30 right now, safety. Eddie Goldman, defensive tackle, is 31. You have, Javon Kinlaw at defensive tackle, and I like the potential of him. And, in Adam Peters, we trust. I trust Adam Peters. I'm going to trust Adam Peters on all of it. But I still, when I see Javon Kinlaw, I start to think, I'm like, is this, is he, do you actually believe in the potential, or is this like a sunk cost investment? Like we were big on him in San Francisco. I still believe in him here. It's because it's some good money that went his way. I still, I think I would have liked Jonathan Allen over him, but we'll see what comes out of it. Does it worry you at all, Zoo? Or are you just all in?
I'm not all in. There is a concern with how little they've addressed in the defensive side of the ball. It is still let AP cook, but I wasn't mad at the trade. Once I saw how old he was, I was just kind of like, okay, but why? And it's not that Tinzel has regressed at all. It's just that he got too many false start penalties. And that was the biggest complaint. But if that's your biggest problem, like we signed Sam Cosmi and he had a bunch of dumb, going too far from whatever that dumbass rule is that makes no sense whatsoever. So that's not a problem. And like Biotish kind of has like that leadership role on lock for the line. So it's like he doesn't have to do that. He just has to protect Jaden, which is a huge upgrade. I think we're good there. While I think that the Commanders are going to get a running back early in the draft, I feel like they are going to use the draft to fortify their defense. I think they are going to get the best defensive edge available. I feel like they are going to get a strong cornerback. And for those positions, I think they're just going to let them battle it out to see who's best for what. The first few weeks, that's basically what it was D-line rotations, it was cornerback rotations, it was offensive line rotations. Like, what is the set that works best for us? What is the set that works best for the opponent that we're going against? So I'm not concerned with them signing older people, because those are older people that are just like hungry to compete and win, and Jaden's going to elevate them on the offensive side. We just need them to be slightly above average on the defensive side.
And that's why I'm totally fine with the Laramie Tunsil move. Like, the Tunsil move, whatever, like, he's 100% going to be better, I think, than, what makes it great for me is it allows Brandon Coleman to move from left tackle to guard. Coleman was still, good as a rookie at that position, but I think he fits guard a little bit better naturally, and you can move him in. You can still maybe get some depth pieces around. Overall, the O-line was pretty good last year. It wasn't a huge concern for me, just the tackle spots, and Tunsil fills that. And it also opens up, like you said, for the draft to now really attack the defensive edge spot and look for somebody like every time I saw him, at least, and Scott would know this better than me, of where he's currently projected in the draft. But Jack Sawyer from Ohio State, for a long time, I kept seeing him in the 20s range or like late first round. I would love if we could get Jack Sawyer, like a defensive end like that. I think this is
a lot of mock drafts. That'd be great.
I think where is he? Where do you think he's projecting right now, Scott? Because I think the free agency week totally changes all the mock drafts before that we're getting beforehand.
He might sneak into the first, like towards the back half.
Perfect.
But if he doesn't go there, he'll be like he'll be in the second round early.
Oh, I would take the risk on him.
I mean, I think right now he's ranked. I think last time I checked, like the CBS draft board, I think he was around like 35 to 37, somewhere in there. So yeah, I have him. Unless somebody, like you said, like a team in the back half of that first round, they don't get an edge rusher that in free agency, or like a James Pierce from Tennessee, or like Jalen Walker from Georgia. Like they might reach and try to snag him in the first round so you can get the because what's that 5th-year option, player option that you get for the first round picks?
Mm-hmm.
So somebody might do that just to grab him to get the extra benefit. But if he doesn't go in the first round, it'll be a very high second round.
I mean, he was a dog in college. What has him being projected like that and not like what you're my college expert here. Like what is the difference between him and who's the top edge rusher?
One thing that always pops up is arm length with edge rushers, because you need to be able to get some separation. So he has very average length and arm size. He's not really like a premier athlete, like a physical specimen. He's a lunch pill guy. He's a grinder. You go in and get his nose dirty, but he also really lacks on like the physicality of it. Like he just needs to get a little bit stronger to be able to bull rush some of those offensive linemen, because it's a completely different ballgame, right? Now he's going to be playing against grown-ass men in the NFL. I mean, he can still beat blockers in a variety of different ways, but he just needs to get stronger as far as like his bull rushing ability would go. What's a good comp? Sam Hubbard is a good comp for him.
Okay, I can get down with that. I like the mock draft that Zoo just sent over in the chat too.
He sent us something in the chat.
Little Trey Amos, little Trevion Henderson. I love Trevion Henderson. I would love to see him in Washington. We'll definitely need running back help there. But yeah, I'm not worried as in like we're like Giants level worried. I'm just worried as in like it's a little. And I didn't even bring up Deebo Samuel. I still think Deebo Samuel though is going to have his Zach Ertz. I think he's going to be the Zach Ertz, Austin Eckler kind of resurgence player, but on a different level. I think we'll be able to get a little more out of him. But one thing that we don't have to worry about is quarterback. We are fine. We're great with Jaden Daniels. We re-signed Marcus Mariota as our backup quarterback. And number 3, folks, it really strikes me, like now more than ever, as we all see it play out, that if you don't already have a quarterback going into this offseason, baby, you're screwed. You're screwed, or you're having to make a big gamble on some free agent like Sam Darnold or Justin Fields, one of those younger free agent quarterbacks, trade for like an unknown potential in Joe Milton or Hendon Hooker, or you'd pick up one of these musty, dusty veterans like Aaron Rodgers or Kirk Cousins, or you risk a top 10 pick on Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward, who are not on the level. Dart. They're not on the level of, what Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels was last year, and I don't think that they will play to that. Not even to the level of C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young the year before. So, yeah, man, I'm glad that all of us are good at quarterback right now. Even Tampa. Congrats.
Even Tampa. Hey, we re-signed Kyle Trask too, so we got a backup still. So
hey. Trask with the ask. Hey. Number 2, folks. We're talking about quarterbacks. I'll bring up Bo Nix, great rookie star last year for the Denver Broncos. And number 2 for me on my observations is just the Denver Broncos. I really, really like the Broncos' moves so far. And I think they've kind of gone a little under the radar, which is good for a team that's trying to, step up. They signed some sneaky, helpful offensive weapons for Bo Nix and his development. They got Evan Ingram at tight end after the Jaguars released him because Jaguars didn't want to do that contract anymore. And they got a, good slot receiver in Trent Sherfield. And they got some really, really great potential helps on defense, pretty much just taking the 49ers defensive stars, like the best pieces of them, in linebacker Dre Greenlaw, who fits a big need at middle linebacker for them, and the safety Talanoa Hufanga, who's been a badass for the Niners at safety. So outside of that, they also re-signed their defensive tackle star DJ Jones and haven't lost any major pieces on that team. So I really like Denver to, continue to step up and repeat what they did last year and be a full playoff contender, even with teams looking at them and looking for them. I honestly, right now, I like them better than the Chargers in the AFC West.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
I like them to be a solid number 2 in the AFC West. Who knows what they were competitive against Kansas City. That team, the whole division is competitive against each other every year. I can see the Broncos beating the Chiefs once, maybe even both times, and really fighting for the AFC West title. So, yeah, go Broncos.
Has Juszczyk signed anywhere yet?
He is not.
Because I know they're up. I know the Broncos, their fullback that they have is a free agent right now. So, I mean, they've already pillaged the Niners on the defensive side of the ball. So bring in Juszczyk to go play in a Sean Payton offense.
That could be something right there. That could be something. And Zoo threw in here, Heineke signed an extension with the Chargers. So
okay,
now the Chargers are back to number 2.
Good for Taylor.
They've moved.
I mean, he's not going to Cleveland.
Thank God. Thank God. Even though I like watching Taylor.
I just imagine the Cleveland Browns like war room right now. They have like a whiteboard, like a list of all the quarterback names and like who's all available. And like they just saw the Taylor Heineke thing. They just scratched his name. Damn it. Can't get him now. We got to call somebody.
They learned it exclusively here too. They learned it at the same time as us. That's not number 1.
So tomorrow morning is when they see this?
Exactly. They saw it tomorrow morning, but they knew tonight because they're watching us. They have an exclusive feed to us. Shout out, Jim.
My brain hurts.
Number 1 on my top 5 observations from free agency week. Look, man, I know that the NFL aims for parity every year, and they've done a great job of it for the most part. You get to see different teams go from worst to first. Look at Washington last year. If you get the right opportunities and people are smart about it. But these offseason moves between free agency, trades, even re-signings, they haven't shown me whatsoever that any of 2024's shitty teams are going to be any better in 2025. Like just not whatsoever. And it's been much more of a reloading to me for the contenders to try and usurp Philly and Kansas City in the AFC and NFC. Detroit getting DJ Reid from the Jets. Washington making the signings that they're making. The Rams getting Devontae Adams, and who I believe is an upgrade over Cooper Kupp at this point in time. And then you're seeing also a lot of great re-signings in Buffalo for Buffalo to keep that team intact. You're seeing Baltimore make their moves. Pittsburgh's making their moves. Denver obviously making their moves. I don't see the Giants being any better than shit this coming season. And it's going to be that dead year for Brian Daboll and Joe Shine. Can we really honestly trust this guy in Jacksonville?
Duval.
I don't trust him. There. It's not going to go well. I don't think the Jaguars are going to be really that good. I don't believe in the Titans whatsoever yet. There's a lot that needs to be worked on there and fixed, especially I think that's why they got the new GM, because it was a team that definitely was in shit mode last year, but still making moves for players like L'Jarius Sneed and giving them huge extensions when it's not going to be competitive. And
Baker Mayfield needs to chill on making offensive coordinators look so good.
He really does. He really needs to. This is getting
away with this.
It's getting out of hand. The only team that I do see, getting out of the gutter this year is Cleveland, and I don't think Cleveland was really that much of a gutter team last season. I just think the injury. I like the talent on the Browns. I like the talent enough on the Browns. I just don't think Jameis Winston was competent enough to do it because it's Jameis Winston, man. We know what Jameis Winston is. We know what Joe Flacco took that team to the playoffs.
I have a comparison for you.
Okay.
Who has a better chance of stepping up this year, the Browns or the Panthers? Do the Panthers fit this
I guess
the storyline of yours?
I don't
or
think
did they start making enough progress?
I don't know if I'd put the Panthers as much in the gutter just because they started to show so much momentum at the end of the season last year. Like things actually started to feel positive for them. So I could see them continuing to make the positive moves. I don't think that they're going to contend for even the NFC South title. I don't think that they stack up to Tampa. But
I could see them having a Broncos like season this year.
I'm rooting for them too.
I'm rooting against them because I don't like Tepper.
Well, that's true. Yeah, you're.
I don't. The more the Panthers win, the more money he makes, and the more money he makes, the more insufferable he gets. So I know. Yeah, sorry, Panthers. You got to lose.
Yeah, fuck off, Panthers. Back in the gutter. Throw them back. What do you think?
It didn't matter to buy the Panthers.
Zoo, do you think? Okay, if I go through these, let me pull up the NFL draft order. But I'll start with the Titans. Are the Titans going to be good this year? Do you think? No. Okay. The Browns.
No.
The Giants.
No.
Patriots.
Yes.
Okay. How much better?
What's the measuring stick on term good?
Are they
over 500?
Let's say 2 to 3 games better than what their say 3 games better than what their record was last year.
Okay.
I will say 3 games.
That's like better. Middle of the pack. You don't know what each week is going to bring.
So, okay.
I think if you can play a team and not think like, oh, we got this, then that's...
There's a lot of 3-win teams last year. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Jaguars are 4-13. Do you think the Jaguars will be a 7-win team next year?
No.
Oh, I have a great question here that I didn't think about earlier. Scott, the Raiders have traded for future Hall of Fame quarterback, your guy, Geno Smith.
I know.
Are the Raiders for real now?
No. Geno is, but yeah, they're not. Nope.
So, Zoo, do you think the Raiders could be a 7-win team next year?
Maybe.
Not in that division.
And then we get to the 5.
Oh, and they play our division too. Wait, no.
Then we get to the 5-win teams, the Jets. Do you think the Jets could hit 8 wins next year? Carolina, do you think they can hit 8 wins?
Yes.
Tricky one here. The Saints at 5-12.
No. Regression. They're going to do worse next year than they did this year.
I want to believe that too.
What were they at?
They were 5-12 last year.
Give me 2 wins for them next year.
If healthy, they could win by another 1 or 2.
Okay. And then the 10th pick in the draft, the Bears, 5-12.
Yes.
I
have them having
probably die of laughter if they don't do any better.
I think they need to have 8 wins. I think next year. I think you have to have
that picture of the updated shot of Ben Johnson. It was like when he did his press conference and how he looks right now. How stressed, miserable, and worn out.
That's how it's gonna be. That's how
it is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean they have to be better. There's just no. Last year there was no excuse not to be better.
No. This is I'm not gonna say make or break. It's Johnson's first year, but that's a team that has the talent to do this. Is there anything I missed? Those are my top 5. Is there anything I missed on my observations? Is there any what was the biggest observation for you guys?
I mean, you just touched upon it like for a quick second, the Bears and what they've been able to do since Ben Johnson's been able to come over. Like they've completely rehauled their offensive line. It looks like they have a competent roster now, especially on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm interested to see how they're going to be able to develop Caleb Williams. And then even some big signings on the defensive side of the ball as well to kind of address some issues. And they're still picking what? What's the pick? They got number 10?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So bring in like Will Campbell, the tackle from LSU or something like that. Bring in a young tackle who could be a franchise guy for you forever, and just pair him up.
That is seeming to be like the big trend that teams are learning from last year, or at least I think a good trend that teams are learning from Philly and Detroit last season is that you gotta build the trenches. That offensive line, defensive line, get big, get nasty, and you can, at least create a foundation for success. And the Chicago, Ben Johnson learned that quickly now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my biggest thing was just the status of the NFC West. There's just so much intrigue because 3 of the 4 teams are just so ridiculously active. But I think the Rams is the only one where it's like you kind of have an idea of like what the plan is because they were able to make a little bit of a run once people got healthy. But the 49ers and the Seahawks are just such a big question mark. It's so fascinating. I'm curious to see just how that progresses.
Man, I'm already ready for the NFL season. Who needs Mike Breen's double bangs in the NBA the other night?
Bang!
Bang!
We just need Ovi's great chase.
Oh, dude, we're getting so close. It's getting so close. I'm so excited.
Single digits, baby.
I'm all of a sudden having hope in everything. I'm starting to think that the Nats are going to be fun and great this year. Give a shit about the Wizards. I just need them to get Cooper Flag. We're all ready for. I was going to say we're ready for March Madness.
Nah, Adam Silver is going to pair up Cooper Flag in San Antonio.
No.
With Wemby. He's going to rig it.
No.
Yep.
Or put him in Utah or something. Where
Cooper. Well, I don't know. Cooper Flag has already said he's going to stay back. He's going to come back to Duke. He doesn't want to come out.
Has he said that? Oh.
I saw one of the reports I saw a week or two ago.
I saw what the Nats were doing. I'd say that too.
Yeah.
Or the Wizards, excuse me.
Yeah.
Actually, he might just go play with the Nats. Who knows?
He opts to go play with the Nats instead. I realize my true sport. I realize I'm a lunch pail guy. I'm going to baseball. Folks, it has been fun. We are going to be talking to you plenty. And we'll be trying to get some more primetime reports because obviously there's going to be plenty more NFL news that it's going to hit. And yeah, I know it's flying around. We have plenty more NFL news that'll hit after we're done. We will get to all of it with you. Gonna try to get some little March Madness preview fun. I got a fun game to play with whoever's willing to do it, but that'll go to social media and YouTube and everything. And the place that you find that is the 323 Network on YouTube. Go subscribe. Be ready for us. Follow us at 323 Reid, at 323 REID. Stay ready, stay prepped as we get to go to Awesome Con. Yeah, that's right. Awesome Con, Washington, D.C. Oh! we should have Griffin as John Gruden during the entire thing.
He does a Gruden cosplay. He's just wheeling around a big whiteboard and just drawing up plays.
I can see it.
I just really love anime, man. I'm a big Demon Slayer guy, man. I can't get enough of it. It would be fantastic.
Poser.
Yes, come see us there. I am a poser, goddammit, and I'll wear it proudly as I dress like I almost said Goku. God, that would have gotten me killed.
Yes, it most certainly would have.
Woof. You can go check these guys out. Scott Ellia, the 323 College Shame Day. Scott, what's going on? I saw a little College Shame Day post pop up this week.
Yeah, starting to get back into the swing of things after a nice, hiatus for a little bit. Gonna start doing a couple more things on the Instagram. We're probably gonna start rolling out episodes here soon to kind of talk about, where these prospects are landing at right now in the draft. Some draft preview stuff. But we just had the combine. The NFL combine was what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. A lot of things are starting to shake out now. So just keep your eyes peeled at 323 College Shame Day on Instagram to get updated.
There you go. Zuhair Ali, that handsome, bright, shining star of a devil down there. What's going on with you, baby? I meant to
No,
say baby,
work.
and then I was going to say buddy,
Nothing.
and then it just became Bibby and Bubby.
I like Bibby.
Yeah, a little Bibby
No,
down there.
nothing. Just work, upright exposures, full steam ahead. Social media stuff is hopefully going to be coming back soon. Just took a little break on that, but yeah, work is busy. It's the season for house pictures, so be sure to follow.
There you go. Follow them up. Follow both of these guys going. And we will have plenty more for you as we get closer to AwesomeCon. Oh, it's exciting. We're going live again. Folks, follow us everywhere. We will talk to you later. Thank you for being here. Stay safe.
Duval.